So I don't usually read reviews about my own bag outside of the Firo community because I'm just too emotionally attached to it, but Tab is making me do it today for content.
Because it's just gonna be hilarious.
It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. You excited?
Yeah, let's go. Straight to Google.
Google. I really don't dig the looks, and that water bottle mesh looks weird. The guy's videos often annoy me too. I'll pass. I can come a little high energy sometimes, I get that. I got a vibe. I get that it's not gonna be for everyone. But the water bottle mesh looks weird. What do you mean? It's power mesh. It's like the highest quality, like most premium mesh that you can buy. So I oppose to that part of the comment, but everything else, hey, you know, to each their own. Moving on. Good vibes, let's keep it going.
Yeah.
All right, I got this on Reddit. With all that tech bro energy, I was waiting for him to say, "This backpack fucks" in the video. I'm not gonna lie.
I can't.
That's awesome.
This dude's on point. 100% agree.
I 100% agree as well. And now I'm totally stealing that line. The Firo T22, this bag fucks. So I just pulled up, Danny Pax just did a review of our bag, and this is one. Aaron sold his viewers on the idea they had to have considerable input in how the bag turned out. This turned out to be a marketing gimmick. He sent a few questionnaires, but that was the extent of it. He ultimately made all the decisions, and frankly, they were poor ones. He caved on everything that made the bag unique in favor of chasing market trends. The result is mediocre, uninspired bag that is too expensive for what it is, and I only suspect his most loyal devotees even picked one up. Thank you for your perspective.
Ouch.
Ouch. That one took some thought. It's really impressive. You know, I think that it's important to obviously clarify, like, yeah, like this is a community effort in a lot of ways, but it's still, you know, all the risk is on me. And what I do is I read every single email, every single comment, and we do tons of surveys and forms so I can get as much community feedback as possible to then make the best decision possible for the bag design. And you know, sometimes I'll agree with the community, sometimes I won't, but then the community will sway me. Like with expansion, I didn't want to really put expansion on the T22, but we were getting so much pressure. And I was like, dude, people really wanted this for this bag. So we went with it. And like, at the end of the day, it's a different way to run a brand. You know, it seems to be working. So, you know, we're gonna keep pushing forward that and have this thing where it's like me and the community and, you know, trying to make it work as best we can. To me, the bag looks horrendous, both in terms of design and the finish. If it was a student project or something, I hope they can improve on this on their newer bags. Okay, well, started out kind of critical, but really ended positively, so I appreciate that.
Always get better.
Always gotta get better. I mean, if you look at some of the first bags from some of our competitors, they also weren't like their staple trademark bags, you know? Like you kinda learn your design language and your community and you improve over time. So, well, yeah, that's our goal. And also, if you wanna see us develop our new bags, we're making a new travel bag and a new sling 100% in public and taking a ton of community feedback on some of the most pivotal design choices. So if you wanna be a part of that process and get a behind the scenes look, be sure to check the first link in the description and you can sign up to the Firo Insider newsletter. Hope to see you in your inbox.
How many times have you said that?
Gotta say, it's the first picture of the bag I've seen outside of NN showcasing it, and it looks uglier and cheaper than what was shown on video. For 200 USD, it's a tough pill to swallow. Well, actually, it's 269 USD. And I like the comment after it. To be fair, lighting does a lot, and it's not very favorable in this picture. And yeah, so, you know, we chose a really interesting, and I use the word bold to describe the aesthetic of the T22. It's not gonna be an aesthetic that's for everyone. I totally get that. And with that, with the way the hatch is designed, you know, there are some angles of this bag that can definitely not be flattering. It's the truth. There's no way around it. My wife had the best thing to say about the Firo T22. She goes, babe, the T22, it's not Ryan Gosling, it's Adam Driver, which I love because I think Adam Driver's like the handsomest dude ever. All right, so I've read this one before, but this is from a new Instagram post where we published some unreleased footage and from the factory, and the guy says, nice sweatshop. And I do have a fucking problem with this because we live in a day and age where most products are made in Asia, in a particular region of the world, and 99.999% of those companies are not going to the factory like Tab and I do and showing you behind the scenes footage from that factory. We made a choice of factory with the same because we knew how ethical they were, that fact that they pay them well, that the conditions are great, that it's a really beautiful factory. I mean, look at this footage, look at this factory. And literally on top of it, we're one of the handful of brands that are actually showing you our factory, telling you who it is, giving you the LinkedIn information of the owner. That's what we're trying to do, is like we're trying to lead this new initiative, right? We want more brands to be transparent. So that's why we're showing all this content.
Dude, go look at the massacre on Reddit right before you launched the Kickstarter.
Don't make me do that. We're going to the scene of the massacre?
We're going to the scene of the massacre, man.
Okay, so in case you don't know,
Backstory.
Oh God, we're really doing this? One of the craziest weekends of my life was the weekend right before we launched the Fyro T22 Kickstarter. Me and Tav are in this office 14 hours a day, prepping everything. Pablo, our graphic designer's in Spain, working overtime as well. And then we gave a preview of the Kickstarter page to our subscribers, our email subscribers, saying don't share anything. And one person leaked a photo of the bag. And I will admit, it wasn't the best photo of the bag. We learned a bit about our Adam Driver backpack and how, to showcase it from the best angle. And he posted it on Reddit in a community that I love, many baggers, but a community that's definitely a bit more on the opinionated side. And
That was a day.
That was a day. Let's look at some of the things people said. I feel kind of bad. No one's paying that price point. I can definitely understand it was not a cheap bag, right? I mean, we decked it out with some of the most premium materials we could buy, whether it's the 330D Kodra, the silicone lining. Luke yells at me all the time, like, hey mate, you have like the most expensive lining. Like, can we please cut the price of that? And I say, no, because I have an obsession with high quality fabrics and like, I wanted the best. So, Tab, remember this one? Seems like the verdict is the flap is a flop. I'm not gonna lie. That's a great fucking comment. In essence, what they're saying is on the thread, a lot of people weren't super stoked about the lid of the hatch, which they called a flap, and calling the flap as a flop. I'm not gonna lie, that is a well-placed sarcastic comment.
This is a really good comment.
It really is. Can't hate on that one. I understand it's not gonna be an aesthetic or a bag for everyone, but for people who are looking for something different on the market, ultimate protection and just next level comfort, we're definitely building a community. So for everyone who supported us so far with the bag, we really appreciate you.
So when all these comments came in a few days before the Kickstarter launch, man, like, how did you feel?
It was bad. It was not good. I was this close to pulling the plug. I'm like, everyone's gonna hate it. Let's just stop before we embarrass ourselves. So this was, if I can go into inspirational Aaron for a moment. This is like one of those
Took the glasses off.
Took the glasses off, okay? This is like one of those darkest before the dawn type scenarios for me because we worked so hard on this and, it was fucking terrifying to put myself out like this, especially with like being a bag reviewer because I had all my chips on the table, If this didn't do well, it wasn't gonna be a good look for me. So this, and then reading all these comments, I mean, I just did Command F ugly and ugly. It was a lot. But like I said, this was a mere 2-3 days before the Kickstarter campaign launched. And within, I think 5 hours, we hit over 250,000 raised. So it just shows you gotta really move forward with what you believe in, right? And not everyone's gonna like what you make. And that's the beautiful thing. Like I come from a bag review background. So like I know that like not everyone's gonna like everything, but if you really believe in yourself and you build something with a great community, you've got every chance to make it, to make it successful. And, I can't thank you guys enough for all your support. Pull yourself together, Tav. We got more mean comments to go through. Let's find a good one. Okay. What makes you think Fyro will be successful? The design is very polarizing and the price is insane. I really like Aaron, but I just don't see them making it. Fuck, who knows? This is a tough business. I mean, we're seeing right now too, with the way e-commerce is going, that a lot of iconic bag brands have been going out of business recently, or we know that they're struggling. I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years and a lot of my businesses in the past have failed, right? Like I've had a lot of failures. But my goal with Fyro, is it's been this culmination of me trying different things and realizing, what I want to do with my life from a professional perspective. So my goal is to, take this thing as far as I can. So you never know in the world of business, right? You've got so many external factors, but, with the community that we have at our base, at our foundation right now, I think we got a really good chance to do something awesome that, stands the test of time. I don't know if it's going to succeed, but so far it's been a really strong start. All right, guys, we've been looking through the comments online, and we're starting to hit mostly recurring themes at this point. So, I think the takeaway is, as a new brand, there's a lot of things that we have to work on. As a new brand, we're not going to be for everyone, but also as a new brand, I'm overwhelmed by how overwhelmingly positive the comments are for Fyro. Like, it's like 10-1 in terms of your guys' feedback, and I have you guys to thank for that. So thank you so much for all the positive stuff you've been leaving online. It's just awesome to see. And obviously we're not gonna, highlight all the positive stuff because we don't want this to be a sales video. We wanna, look at the things we can improve and have a bit of fun in the process. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below, which one was your favorite hot take out of all these? Mine is probably the this bag fucks. The flap is a flop at a close second.
The flap is a flop.
The flap is a flop is kind of iconic. We should get that like. And as always, if you guys want a behind the scenes look at our next bags, which is currently a travel backpack and a sling, and you want to say and where those bags go, be sure to sign up to the Fyro Insider newsletter, which you can do with the first link in the description below. Thanks for watching. I'm Aaron, and we'll catch you guys next time.